lost, as of today, I'm still losing more, but I've lost 104 pounds. So that's so fun to say. But yeah, so I've gained things along the way, like a ton of strength. Like I've gained a lot of strength. So I think people always talk about what they lose, but I've gained my confidence back. I've gained, this sounds cheesy, but I've kind of gained my life back. You know, your life is much different when you weigh 100 pounds more than you do, you know, or than you're supposed to, you know. So yeah, and the cool thing about it is I feel like my results have been like healthy results. Like I don't feel like they've been extreme results. I don't feel they've been something that other people can't replicate or that I've done something crazy and wild. Like I've just done something healthy. You know, you've helped me do something very ordered and very healthy and in an appropriate time frame. And, you know, like it just doesn't, some people are like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm actually like, I probably could.
What's up, my friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Legendary Life Podcast. I'm your host, celebrity trainer and high performance health coach, Ted Rice. This is a podcast for men and women who are looking to boost their energy and upgrade their health. So get ready to learn proven health, fitness, and mindset strategies to unlock your full potential. And today, I'm really excited to share this success story with you. This episode is with one of my coaching clients, my incredible coaching client, Sarah. And Sarah had some weight that she wanted to lose, but she was also struggling with some injuries. She would go to the gym, she would get on her nutrition, she'd start pushing hard, but she'd always end up injured and then would go backwards. And Sarah has an interesting story. I'm not gonna share too much of it with you, but I will say this. Sarah's done a lot of the popular diets. In fact, she was a spokesperson for a very popular weight loss group or weight loss company. And she got results with, I think, most of what she tried, but she would always end up going backwards. That is until Sarah and I connected and she ended up hiring me. So you're gonna hear what she was struggling with, her journey to losing the weight, what she ended up accomplishing in working with me through the coaching process that I offer. And if after listening to Sarah's episode, you're interested in getting results like Sarah, I invite you to hop on a call with me where we're gonna figure out exactly where you are in terms of your health and fitness and nutrition and how to help you move forward. We're gonna also identify some of the hidden beliefs and patterns that are keeping you from making progress at the gym and in the kitchen. And lastly, we're gonna look at what it's going to take for you to make the shift now to create that lean, strong, and healthy body you've always wanted. And if that resonates with you, if that sounds good, then what I want to do is invite you to go to legendarylifepodcast.com/talk and book a free breakthrough call where we're going to discuss all of the things that I mentioned. All right, that's enough for the shameless plug there. Now we're going to get into the interview with my amazing, incredible coaching client, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for coming on and talking to me today.
Hi, Ted. You're welcome. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you because you're here today to share your incredible story of transformation in the Legendary Lean program. Before we get to that, though, could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
My name's Sarah, and I am 39 years old until about 24 hours after this interview, and then I'll be 40. I am the single mother of 2 children. I have a 14-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son, and I live in North Carolina. And I'm the director of operations for a company.
Excellent, and thanks for sharing that because it's so important that people hear who you are and what your life is like, because there's a lot of people out there who maybe think that their life isn't compatible with a program like Legendary Lean. And Sarah, I'd love it if you could talk a little bit about what you've tried in the past, because I remember when we first talked, I remember what you were up to and doing workouts over and over and getting injured, really trying to get in shape. But a lot of people have not heard that story before. Could you please share that?
Sure, absolutely. So I was about 140 pounds overweight over what is considered, like a healthy BMI for my height. And I was, working really, really hard to try and lose this weight. And I'm a super determined person. So I just kept trying everything I possibly could. And I would lose 20 pounds and I would get injured. I have some old running injuries and I was extremely overweight, morbidly obese on the BMI, index thing. So as I was doing workouts, one of which was running because I'm a former runner and I am a runner and I love to run and other just types of in-home workout videos or whatever, I would get injured inevitably over and over and over and over. And I lost about the same 20 to 30 pounds. I don't know how many times, maybe 5, 6 times in the span of a few years, maybe more. Then I would be injured and I couldn't continue to work out. And that would make me super frustrated and very upset. And that would lead to poor eating and poor habits because I'd kind of be like, well, can't work out, so, oh well. And I would just gain that weight back and I would heal while I was gaining that weight back. Then I'd get to a point where I'd be like, okay, now's the time. This is, how I'm going to do it. And I would start again. And I always did really, really well. And then I'd get injured. It would inevitably be between 4 and 6 weeks. And I would just get injured. And I mean, some days couldn't even walk. So when I found you and we met, I was kind of in one of those down cycles where I was injured and my weight was just coming right back up. And I think I was like maybe 20 pounds down from my very highest weight, but I was down for the count again. And I just knew the cycle and I just knew it was just going to come right back. And then, I was going to end up starting over. So that's, about what my life was like, prior to meeting you and doing the Legendary Lean program.
That's great, Sarah. And can you talk a little bit about what you've tried in the past before joining Legendary Lean?
Oh my goodness. Every diet program that's ever been in existence that I have known, I've tried it. I've done, obviously extremely low, no carbohydrate diets. I've done Mediterranean type and South Beach type. And I've done diets where the food is prepped and I buy it and I, pop it in the microwave at home. I've done cabbage soup things. I've done the crazy lemonade thing, the lemonade diet. What do they call that? I can't even remember. Every single thing. Because one thing is I'm a person who, if something's not working, I'm done and I'm on to the next thing and I'll find something else that works. So, and they would all work for a little bit. My problem was my injury and I didn't realize that cycle. I mean, you're the one who showed me that cycle that I was in and I could have never put it into words until you had showed it to me. But as far as eating, I've tried every single thing.
Thanks for sharing that, Sarah. And I'm curious, where did you learn about the program and what made you decide to sign up to it?
There were a couple different things. I heard one of your podcasts. I searched something. You know how you can search in the podcast app. I cannot remember what I was searching for. It was probably something like "somebody help me, please," or I don't even know. It was just some generic thing, and you popped up, and I listened to your podcast, and I wish I knew the exact one it was, but you were super motivating, and so that was really good for me. I needed that. I like motivational people. I'm drawn to people who operate like that. The other thing is it wasn't there's multiple things, but it wasn't so fluffy. You had true knowledge. I was like, this guy's like a scientist, but it was you had true. I think you might have interviewed an expert. I don't know who, but it was not like being healthy light. It was like being healthy for real. This is, truly. And I felt like, okay, this guy actually is one of the knowledgeable people in the industry. So then I went to your website because I'm crazy like that. And I was like, okay, I got to find out everything I can about this person and I read a lot about your website. And then the third thing that really drew me to reach out to you was I don't remember where on your website, but somewhere you talked about injuries. And I don't know if you talked about somebody else's injuries or your like past injuries, or you talked about working with athletes or just people in general who had been injured. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe, and it kind of clicked. I still didn't realize the cycle I was in, but I knew I was injured, and I knew I kept getting injured. And I thought maybe he will know. And I remember I messaged Giselle like right there when I read it, or just, I didn't know I was Giselle, but she like answered me, and I messaged you guys right away because I thought maybe they know something I don't. Obviously, something I don't, but I was like, maybe they know maybe they can tell me something about my, how to stop getting injured, and be able to be healthy like this without this injury, So that's the general flow of how one thing led to another. Yeah.
Now, Sarah, you've had, like I mentioned earlier in this interview, you've had an incredible transformation and you've gotten amazing results in the program. Can you please share your results and how you feel about yourself and what you've accomplished?
I will. So I'm so happy with my results. I have lost, as of today, I'm still losing more, but I've lost 104 pounds. So that's so fun to say. But yeah, so I've gained things along the way, like a ton of strength. Like I've gained a lot of strength. So I think people always talk about what they lose, but I've gained my confidence back. I've gained, this sounds cheesy, but I've kind of gained my life back. Your life is much different when you weigh 100 pounds more than you do, or than you're supposed to, So yeah, and and the cool thing about it is I feel like my results have been like healthy results. Like I don't feel like they've been extreme results. I don't feel they've been something that other people can't replicate, or that I've done something crazy and wild. Like I've just done something healthy. You've helped me do something very ordered and very healthy and in an appropriate time frame. And, like it just doesn't, some people are like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm actually like, I think you probably could. Like it's not, I didn't do anything crazy, I just did healthy things. So yeah, so that's my results as of today. I still have some more I want to lose, but 104 pounds.
Sarah, that's so incredible. And I can't tell you how proud I am of you and of how much I admire how you stuck in there, even through the ups and downs. And that's what I'd like to ask you about right now, because people may hear what you've accomplished and they may say, whoa, that's awesome. That's amazing. But it was probably so easy for her. But that wasn't the case. You've had a lot of ups and downs. Some obstacles came up. You fell off track. You got back on. Can you please share that with people so they know the realities behind making the type of dramatic change that you were able to create for yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So I've had lots of obstacles. Like that's the story of my life. I think that's the way it's supposed to be for me. So, and I love overcoming them. And you have helped me overcome, the biggest ones. And this, and in the past, all the time I've been on Legendary Lean, some of my biggest obstacles, I've hit a couple plateaus. One was really rough. And you and I, like me talking to you and you talking to me through it, and being so precise. You are so precise, and I'm just not a precise person. I'm such a big picture person. Like I'm eating healthy, I should lose weight. That's end of the story. And you would be like, but what about this? And what are you eating then? And when did you do? Very, very precise. And almost every single time it was literally like, if I go back and look at my notes and stuff, it's like a phone call with you. And then 2 days later, I'd busted through my plateau or something like that, because it's very precise. And I don't have the knowledge, but two, even if I did have the knowledge, I don't have the personality to find that. Like I almost just, I don't know. it's exactly what I needed. So very precise. So I hit, a few plateaus, one that was a real doozy, had major surgery in the middle of Legendary Lean. And so that was an obstacle. And you were very good. Like during that time, I semi-maintained within a few pounds. Like I wasn't perfectly, I didn't lose though, but I think I would have potentially gained it all back without like your help and just your support and your reminders. And I, you helped me stay on plan. I was almost immobile for 8 weeks. I mean, it's really hard to lose weight when you're immobile. It's hard to maintain weight when you're immobile. So, I was able to do that based on what you were having me eat. And it was very precise and it was perfect, So those were some of my obstacles, definitely plateaus and my surgery, my schedule. And then my biggest obstacle is probably like my mindset. Like if I got down on myself during the plateau or, just frustrated because it wasn't moving fast enough. I'm always telling you, I feel like, why isn't this going faster? Like, what's the deal? And you have been so good about that. I'm always not afraid, but I'm always like, oh, I gotta tell Coach Ted that I, didn't do this or I missed that or I'm stuck here in this plateau. And you've never been negative with me. I've never hung up the phone with you and not felt better. I always 100% of the time feel better when I hang up the phone with you. And usually have a plan. And my mindset is like, right. I think you can just see things that somebody in program can't, somebody in that state can't necessarily see. I mean, that's your job. So you're good at it.
Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you feel that way. I will say that I have been at it for 2 decades, so I should be pretty good at it. I feel like I am. But it's always good to hear that. And I always like to acknowledge your work as well, because I can have the best program in the world. I can be the best coach in the world. But if you're not willing to meet me halfway, then it really doesn't matter. If you're not willing to take action, if you're not willing to do what I have you do, and if you're not willing to stay committed, even when things get tough or they get hard or you fall off track and then you hop back on, if you're not willing to go through that process, there's really nothing I can do. So it really is about the teamwork. And that's what I love about being in this coaching program. And I'm so glad that you and I got a chance to connect and that we vibed and that we were able to really work well together to create the dramatic transformation that you now experience. So my last question for you is, if someone is listening right now and they're impressed by your results, by the results they've heard other people get in the program, but maybe they're still not sold. Maybe they look at you and they think, wow, there's something special about her that I don't have. Or they listen to Art's story or Todd's story or Kevin's story or Deanne's story or any of the many transformations that we've shared on the show. And they feel like, you know what, that's not me. Or I don't think it could be me, but I'd like it to be me. So what would you say to that person who is still on the fence about joining the program?
I would say that when you're trying to get healthy, when you're trying to lose weight, it is not something that is it's not pretty. It's not like something that's glorified, and it's not a bunch of awesome Facebook posts about what you ate and your great workouts. It's a bunch of days of decisions that nobody ever sees and nobody ever knows about, that are hard and that are painful for a lot of people. That's weight loss or getting healthy. That's my experience. The thing about Legendary Lean was all those decisions that I had to make every single day that nobody knew about and nobody will ever hear about or know about, you knew about. And somebody actually did know about them. And somebody actually did care about them. And I knew I could talk to you or ask you if I got stuck, or if I went backward. I never really went backwards, but if I got stuck or if I was frustrated or if, I just wasn't seeing what I wanted to see. Nobody knows what you're doing. I'm seeing people who are like, wow, you look so different. They have no idea. They just see me and they know I look different. They have no idea what I've been doing. So the difference with a program like Legendary Lean is you have somebody who is 100%, I have somebody 100% invested in what I'm doing. And there's almost nobody else in my life who's like that, and that's rare for such a huge feat as to get healthy or to lose weight and keep it off and do it in a healthy manner. Bunch of little decisions that nobody ever knows about. And when you have a coach like you, Ted, I'm like, oh, somebody knows like what I'm doing. And it's hugely powerful, I think, because it's hard and it's painful. And people are usually, I've tried multiple times to do it. And they often feel very isolated and very alone. And nobody knows that I'm not going to McDonald's at midnight. But you knew I wasn't going to McDonald's at midnight. And if I went to McDonald's at midnight, you would probably know, because then I wouldn't, have the same progress or whatever. It's just different. It's like having someone on your team, like 100%. So you can't beat that. I mean, you just can't beat that in life,
Sarah, that's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's an honor to be your coach.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, though. It's amazing for everything you do.
Well, I appreciate that, Sarah. And I really appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on today. I appreciate you being such an amazing student in the program, taking action, not giving up when it got hard. And it's just an honor to work with someone like you and to have you here sharing your story. I know it made an incredible difference to someone out there listening. So I just wanted to acknowledge you and thank you for being on the show to share the realities behind the type of transformation you made. And I can't wait to help you reach the next step.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. I'm so excited.
Me too, Sarah. Well, thank you again for coming on. Happy birthday and have an amazing day.
Yes. You too.
That wraps up another episode of the Legendary Life podcast. I hope you found Sarah's story inspiring, and I hope you learned something from it, because she shared very candidly what her ups and downs were, what she struggled with, and the fact that sometimes we just see the end result, but we don't see that day-to-day struggle, that day-to-day, let's not call it struggle, let's call it effort that you put in, and how working with a coach can really help you with that, because there is a person who's with you along the journey. And if that sounds like something that you want, if you want results like Sarah's, then I invite you to go to legendarylifepodcast.com and book a free breakthrough call. What are we going to do on this call? We're going to determine exactly where you currently are in terms of your health and fitness and nutrition and how to move you forward to achieve your goals. We're going to identify some of the hidden beliefs and patterns that are keeping you from making progress in the gym and in the kitchen. We're also going to go over what it's going to take for you to make the shift now to create that lean, strong, healthy body you've always wanted. So again, if that resonates with you, go to legendarylifepodcast.com/talk and sign up for your free breakthrough call now. That's all I've got today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you soon.